Richard, welcome to Buy It a Minute. Today we're going to fix a broken wire on the Works Landride lawnmower. Where I've got it set up, where the base is, it's sitting on pavers under the fresco, and the wire runs up over those and on top of a couple of rubber mats and when it's come around, it's just kicked the wire up and cut it. So we're going to change that system, see if we can get the wire to actually work underneath the rubber mats, and fasten the charger down using a drill, a masonry drill, just a cheap one from Aldi, WorkZone, with a Ryobi drill. These plastic screws or pegs go into the it's going to go into the workstation through the pavers, which are about 40 mil, and then it's into sand, so I'm not sure how successful that will be. We could dynabolt it, but the heads on these aren't very thick, so we'd have to shave down, grind down the nuts on the dynabolts. Plastic pegs to go into the lawn, into the wire, keep the wire fastened down. We've got our wire connector, which we'll be using, and we've got a pair of multi-grips, so you can use pliers, put your two wires into here, push tight to the very end, and then clamp down. It's got a couple of metal things that clamp down, and they cut the sheath, expose the wire and make a connection. And nippers to cut the wire, a hammer for the pegs, and that's about hopefully all we need. Might need another couple of bits and pieces. We'll see how we go. We should be okay. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, here we are, disconnecting the wires from the charging station. That's the broken wire I'm taking off there. That's where the machine, where the lawnmower enters. There's the broken wire. I've drilled a hole through, 3mm hole through the mat. I'm pulling the wire through there so I can relocate it underneath the mat rather than on top of the mat. I don't know whether it's going to work at this stage. I thought I'd just neaten everything up, and there's the wire where my hand is, just there where I'm patting down. That runs on an angle to where you see it here under the mat now. It worked okay there before, but it was a bit of a tight turn, but it seemed to work, so I thought I'd just put it back where it belonged. Just trying to find where to locate the charging station now. I needed to, where the wire was cut, I need to move the charging station back towards it a little bit. Excuse me. So I'm just putting it in to see how that looks. Now I'm just setting up where I want the connector. That's the broken wire, so I need to trim it. Now I'm putting in the new wire. I haven't cut it to length yet. I just want to set it up and see what it looks like, and then I can trim it off to what would suit. pushing it in there. That seems to hold it, the wire in pretty tight. Okay. Okay, now I'm drilling the hole in the mat. This is on the entry side, so I can put it under the mat. Just going to pull that through. Try and keep it as close as I can so I can keep it tight and so the wheels don't interfere with it, hopefully. I'm just measuring it up there. I want to get it right. Got to push the wires. Have to go right to the very end where my finger at the end there. It pushes right through to the very end. And then when you clamp down, there's a couple of razor bladey type looking things in there with notches in it, and when you clamp down like I'm going to do now, it cuts the sheath but doesn't cut the wire. I'm just looking here, I want to put a couple of pegs in to get it down. Now I'm just marking the station, drilling the hole for its location so I can get a couple of pegs in so it won't move. Now I'm banging in the peg. The other one, I've already done the other one, just checking it. I'm into sand there, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. I've got 2 pegs in there. There it is. There's. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. We're going to give it a try. It doesn't look like it likes it at this point. It's hesitating a fair bit. So it's got itself confused, which is, I wasn't expecting it to be confused because before the wire was broken, it worked okay. And now the only difference is it's under the mat, which may be the problem, or it's something to do with the connector. But it's trying to follow that. That wire goes on that angle there, and it really doesn't like it. So I was surprised, to be honest. At this point I'm really thinking, oh, it's because it's under the mat. As you can see, it really, that's why I gave it a kick there to see if it would go out, but it really doesn't get it. Now I've taped the wire on top of the mat, and I've moved both the wires so they're on top of the mat. There is a small portion on the outside under the mat, just to see if it's the wire. I honestly thought it was the wire at this point, because nothing else is different. The only thing that's different is the wire connector itself is attached, which you can see there. And it's getting confused again, so actually the other thing that is different is the out wire I made longer. I changed it and made it longer, so I ended up with 2 connectors, so I could just lengthen that wire. So it's not the problem that it's under the mat at this point. It's seems to be the connectors seem to be too close together, even though you can see there they're about what 3 inches or so, but it keeps on wanting to try and find its way out as if it's not recognizing it. It's just not going to do it. So here I am. It's a different camera angle. I'm putting in that second connector that you could see before. I thought this would be a better angle to show you of putting it in. And what I'm doing also here is I'm moving the wire over. So I'm just doing some adjustments to make the distance between the two a bit further apart to see if it works. See if that's the problem. At this stage I really don't know what the problem is. See there, it's quite fiddly. You've got to push both wires to the very end. There, you can see it clamped down there. So there you go. That looks good. I'll get a couple of pegs in there. Put that one in to hold it. Do some testing and just see before I fix things up. So we're testing it now. It's hesitating. Okay, you can see the wires are quite a fair bit away apart now, so I've got to whippersnip edges anyway, so I'll probably have to do a little bit of whippersnipping there, I'm thinking. I'm not sure, you know, once I test it, once it mows the lawn, I'll know. And now it works. So that was the problem, that for whatever reason, once you put the connectors in there, it just ended up too close together compared to before where there was no connectors, just the wires running through. Okay, now we've got the wire under the mat. I've covered up our connectors and we're going to see if everything's still okay with it under the mat now. It looks a lot neater. I'm really pleased with it. It's following the wire and it looks like it's going to work. So there's success. I have got another video of the works, and if you like, please like, subscribe and ring the notification bell. Have a great day. Richard, welcome to Bike Minute. Today we're going to fix a broken wire off the works landline hook into the it's going to go